Jackie Mason is a so-called comedian. He's been in the business for about 185 years. Is he still playing the Poconos? He was on the Young Turks long time ago. Like, it might have been literally 10 years ago. I think we were fighting over the Iraq War. He thought it was a great idea. Hey, Jackie, how'd that work out? And he's never said anything funny that I've ever seen, and he certainly didn't say anything funny on our air, and then he got all agitated when we pointed out what a disaster Iraq was, and he hung up. Okay, look, I'm being honest and transparent about my feelings about Jackie Mason and part of where they come from. Now, don't trust me on whether Jackie Mason's a good guy or not. Let's hear from Jackie Mason himself. I mean, he was on a show recently with Aaron Klein. He's a radio host somewhere, and he started talking about gay people and black people. Uh-oh. Let's listen.
Getting into 2016, do you think comedy needs to be politically correct, quote unquote?
Well, comedy always had to be politically correct because there was always a problem with what you say and how you say it, because there was always people complaining when before you couldn't pick on homosexuals because it was bad taste because homosexuals were a persecuted minority. Now it's exactly the opposite. Now the homosexuals could attack you and abuse you, and people who are in favor of same-sex marriage could abuse you, but you can't say a word. You can't say a word against same-sex marriage. You used to be free to attack the whole idea of same-sex marriage. Now it reversed itself. Now if you force same-sex marriage, you're a sensation and you persecute everybody who's against same-sex marriage. If you own a company and you happen to be a head of a company that's against same-sex marriage, 10 seconds later you're out of business. Because the same-sex marriage people now are a sensation against the homosexual, because the homosexuals are now in charge. And if they find out you're a heterosexual, you're afraid to walk in the street already. A guy is walking with a girl is getting nervous. If you're walking with another guy holding hands, you're a sensation. Walk down the street now with a girl and everybody wonders what's wrong with you.
Really? Straight guys are afraid to walk down the street because homosexuals are in charge? What's going to happen to the straight guys? They're afraid to hold hands with the girls. Was that a joke? He's so unfunny, it's hard to tell, but I don't think he was really joking. We got more for you guys to give you full context. And you begin to get a sense, not really joking, right? But he was really ranting about how it's exactly the opposite now. Homosexuals can attack you, he said, and abuse you. Jackie, who's attacking you? I mean, presuming you're straight, who's attacking you? Does somebody attack you in the street? If you report the crime, I'll be on your side. That's why the guy's not funny, because he thinks it's funny to make fun of people with less power. That you have to protect the powerful and attack the powerless. Oh my God, now the gays have some rights? Maybe in some states the same rights as we do? Oh, I can't bash them anymore. Oh God, how am I going to be funny now? What am I going to do, make fun of straight people? And they're already getting attacked in the streets. Okay, we haven't even gotten to blacks yet.
If you say any one word against a black person, you're wiped out in a second. When you talk about a black person, you have to be so careful. You couldn't say the N-word. The N-word would put you out of business, so you had to be careful. Instead of saying the N-word, you called them a black person. Then the word black went out of business because you had to say Negro. Then Negro went out of business. You had to say African American. Now every day you have to buy a paper to find out what is a black person called today. The black person could call you any name he wants. But the black person is a free man. It's free speech today only for black people.
Free speech only for black people in this country, huh? Oh, fascinating. He went on to say, if you're a white Protestant American Gentile, you can't say a word. It's true. I mean, the white Protestants in this country, they've all gone mute. They can't. I walked up to a white Christian the other day. I said, hey, how you doing? He's like, I'm not going to say a word. Yeah, that's the topsy-turvy world we live in. Look, he clearly was not joking. But by the end, he was so pathetic and ridiculous that I started to feel bad for him. It seemed like he was reminiscing about the good old days. Oh, I remember when we could make fun of people who had no power and, kick them when they were down. Now we can't do that. How am I going to get a cheap laugh? Actually be funny? Retire? Just stop talking. Sorry, I don't mean to put you out of business.